Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Honda recalling 720,000 vehicles for fuel pumps that have some issues that might actually be explosive. Pun, well, roughly intended. This comes to us through James, thanks to the drive, which he says, quote, Honda recalls another 720,000 cars for leaky fuel pumps that can catch fire. They say, it's kind of, I'm not sure if this is pun or he's just dry humor, but he says, it's not good when an internal combustion engine becomes an external combustion engine. Which, how boring is that? Not the topic, but the picture they chose to use for this article was the Honda Civic base model, which, not base is cool, but the base trim level, which even Honda marketing would never, I don't think would ever do. I mean, at least give us the SI, if not the Type R, with all the horsepower, which only come in a stick shift, which I do appreciate Honda doing. However, I don't appreciate the fact that it's becoming more and more unreliable. That is why people buy Hondas. They don't buy it because it's the flashiest or the coolest. Oh, I love my green Honda Civic 2018 SI. It's a coupe. They need to make that again. But you made sacrifices. I bought that over a Ford Focus ST because even though ST had, was it 45 more horsepower, felt a lot more fun in terms of acceleration, a little more nimble because, again, it's a smaller vehicle. But I chose Honda because of the track record, moderately intended, of Honda. And yet they keep having these darn recalls, which is quite frustrating for most consumers. Now, going to the details, they say, quote, the first half of October wasn't fun for Honda. A couple weeks ago, the automaker announced a massive recall of 1.7 million vehicles for steering problems. Now, adding insult to that injury, or hopefully not, Honda is recalling 700,000 for fuel problems. While the fuel pump fails, it can actually cause it to stall or not start, which might probably be the safest of all the variables or all the different options. They say defect can cause combustion outside your engine. Now, they know that the defect is not, announced by Honda. Honda states that the defect is found in the fuel pump of certain 2023 to 2024 model year vehicles. The NHTSA has not published any in-depth report on the recall yet, but Honda says there's a problem in the core of these vehicles, high pressure fuel pumps, which, I mean, are they even testing things anymore? Like, I could forgive you if a window switch doesn't work, or if the little light bulb, if the overhead light doesn't turn on and off, fine. But one of the most integral, important parts of the vehicle, getting fuel to the engine, doesn't work. Who is testing these things? Now, again, they say, quote, there's a problem in the core of the vehicle's high pressure fuel pumps. The pumps may have internal cracks, potentially from manufacturing errors, that may expand during operation and eventually leak. Like any external fuel leak, it typically poses a fire risk, though Honda says it's unaware of any crashes or industry injuries associated with the defect at this time, which, silver lining, again, no one's been hurt from this. Thankfully, there's been no loss of life in the situation, and there's been no issues in terms of any crashes, apparently. Now, they say, quote, vehicles known to have been infected include the 2023 and newer CRV hybrids. Ew, no hybrids, don't get me started. But also the 2023 and 2024 Honda Accord, the Accord hybrid, and the iconic 2023 Honda Civics, along with the hybrid version. Honda indicates a potential sign of the defect is the smell of fuel while driving or idling, and it will begin to notify owners affected in December, which, sure, you can wait for that or just tune into the show where, shoot, it seems like half the business blunders are automotive related. Granted, it makes sense because the average vehicle has about 10,000 components in it, so there's a lot of vectors and areas of failure that things can go wrong. Now, they say they will be mailed, again, snail mail, but they'll have mailed instructions sent to specific people, telling them to visit the Honda dealer for a free inspection, plus replacement if the part is found to be faulty. Owners can also check at recalls.honda.com to see if the vehicle is affected, which, I mean, I don't know if it's really a life hack, but just make sure you take your smartphone and get a picture of your VIN number. That way you don't have to go back to your vehicle, do that now, and that way when you go to the website, it's already there. Or you already have that data with you, which, you can find it at the door cell, but most conveniently, you just take a picture through the windshield. It's right up there. Again, that website is recall.hondas.com. They know that some of these same vehicles were implicated in another recall, notably the Civic and CRV. They say the availability of the recall services may be slightly staggered. However, the notices for the steering defect being issuing in November. So some people are going to get more than one letter over the course of a couple of weeks, which, yeah, is ridiculous. I don't know what's more boring, the Honda Civic base or the Honda SUV. Slightly more exciting. The Honda Civic is in red, and red's kind of cool. Though they used to have a lot of cool colors, like green and yellow. I have like 5 for the Civic, so a lot of room for improvement. And again, when it comes to Honda, I mean, Soichiro Honda was a genius when he founded the company. I mean, he started making, piston rings. They made motorcycles. The story of Honda is great. One of my favorite books, what is it on the shelf over here, is Driving Honda by Jeffrey Rothenfinder. Great novel. I read that earlier this year. I loved it, the story of Honda. They make some of the best cars on the planet, but they keep messing up and also not making a refresh of the Honda S2000. That's an abomination to engineering and your customers. Just do it. We all want it. But in all seriousness, getting the core of Honda and all these recalls, they just keep chiseling away at what used to be not perfect, but an exceptional brand reputation. And don't get me wrong, I know every company's having more and more recalls because of coming computers on wheels and more points of failure being introduced. Even Toyota's getting massive recalls as well. No automobile company is infallible or immune from a recall. I understand, but I mean, shoot, my parents have a frugal family, but my parents bought a 2001 Honda Accord new, and still have it to this day. It runs like a champ. Partially because I think there's less complexity, and I think that kind of peaked in the 1990s, 2000s in terms of peak reliability. It seems like these new cars just can't get a break in terms of having to go back to the dealer. And of course, it's going to be free for the consumers, but it's going to cost your time, your energy. And shoot, maybe the dealer has to keep the car overnight. Maybe they do or do not have a lender. A lot more things to worry about. And at the end of the day, the dealers aren't happy because they get paid a discount rate from the factory. So the mechanics aren't happy because they're getting a discount on their work. They have to do it. So it's one of those instances where all around not good. And again, I'm not sure they just need to redouble their efforts in the quality assurance department or redouble or triple the miles in which they're testing these vehicles before they actually greenlight all the components. But unfortunately, Honda, again, this recall of 720,000 vehicles because of fuel pump, I gotta say, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.